fair to say, like, if, trying to make sure I understand this right, but is it fair to kind of say, like, when, like, if I see someone, like, for the very first time, is it fair for me to be able to just at least say, wow, that woman looks absolutely beautiful? Because I do have a standard in my mind as far as what I feel is attractive to me. So I think that's where I kind of get lost at, and where I feel there's a loophole is that, okay, yes, you are. There is a level of or a degree of, as far as self-esteem, as far as, okay, how I feel about myself. But I feel like in reality, the fact of the matter is, I don't really know. There's just, if I look at somebody, there's a woman that I feel that looks beautiful, but then I look at this woman, I'm like, but does it have to necessarily be a shaming thing versus attraction?
That's a really good point that you raised. I think
I don't know. It's just, I'm just like, wait, hold on, but I'm not necessarily shaming this woman. I'm just not attracted to how she looks.
Exactly.
But if that makes sense.
I think it's important to kind of well, first, if the person has self of awareness about like topics regarding body positivity, like questions like what you just said arise, and I think that's a great start. If you're already at that start, I think it's more important to ask the question, why do I find this person attractive? Why do I find this type of body types attractive? Rather than, I don't know, just saying like, I don't like this body type. I'm not attracted to this body type. Because like the last thing that as a plus size woman, that I want to be is being fetishized for my body size, which is actually quite common in Japan. There's actually a term called debusen in Japanese, which means specialized in fat people, which is, you know, we're more like plus size people are beyond our bodies. We just want to be included in this many types of ways beauty and attractiveness can coexist. We are not just saying our body is the number one type that's attractive. We're just saying our body is attractive too, along with the others. And I think that's where people get mixed up. Yeah, it's just like saying, I think like when I first started learning the word body positivity when I was 20 or 21, there was a term where a lot of plus size women were saying, real women have curves. And I felt pride in that, but now looking back, that's actually shaming the women who are not plus size, and I don't think that's true body positivity.
You know, and that's why, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I sent you a tweet about a woman that was actually skinny, which was, I was thinking stereotypical. Okay, isn't this technically the type of body that certain societies would try to, like, you know, oh, okay, like that's more attractive. But of course, you know, it's almost kind of like what happened, like, for example, Adele, right? When I'm sure she was catching hell left and right when she first came out, but then when it's kind of almost like what you were talking about with your story, eventually she still lost weight, but then people were still kind of like on her back because it was like, okay, well, hell, now she's like shaming us because she lost weight. And so it kind of like goes both ways. So do you think is it a thing of where, as far as when it comes to, is it more so a cultural thing? I might have like, if that's pretty much what it is, or you feel like people are just trying to like pick and choose, oh, this is shaming and this is not?
I think there's both. I mean, there's definitely like stricter beauty standards, like weight standards in Japan. But I think the common issue is people need to have a wider understanding and wider view that shaming can be many types. Even if we think we're complimenting other people, that may not necessarily be a compliment to the person on the receiving end.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of plus size models around me in my life, from my perspective, like I am jealous that they have such beautiful, gorgeous, big, abundant breasts. But a lot of them actually feel insecure because they can't find a good top that fits them. Just because they have bigger sized breasts than other average Japanese women, a lot of them are instantly perceived as erotic by a lot of Japanese men. That can actually sometimes like be physically scary for them, attracting a lot of unwanted attention and risks of like assault, like things like that. So I think that's just one of the many examples that, you know, even if we say something and mean it as a compliment, that's not necessarily what the receiving end feels. It could be something that they're insecure about. So that's why I always say, and a lot of other body positivity creators say, that don't comment on other people's bodies, period.